Okay, so we are doing systems of equations by elimination. We have the process down. It helps us eliminate a variable. By eliminating a variable, it helps us solve for the other one in a general equation, basic linear equation. Now, what happens when something goes wrong in this elimination process? Let's look at this. We've got negative 5x plus 2y equals negative 3. 10x minus 4y equals 5. So my first strategy generally here would be to multiply the first equation by 2 to get the second equation, negative 10x plus 4y is a negative 6. Okay, so now I'm adding these two equations together. 10x plus negative 10x, 0x. Okay, it's gone. Negative 4y plus 4y, 0y. So there's nothing left on the left side. 5 plus negative 6 is negative 1. Okay, all of a sudden I don't have any variable left to solve for. I have to ask myself, when is 0 equal to negative 1? If we recall back to when we did the linear equations, it was possible that we ended up with something like this, and we said the answer was no solution, because 0 is never equal to negative 1. So you have to ask yourself, is this possible with two lines that they would never intersect? Well, if two lines are parallel, are they ever going to intersect, or are they always going to be the same distance away from each other? They'll always be the same distance away from each other, so it is possible to get no solution. When you have both variables canceling at the same time and you end up with a 0 equals something else, then you'll have no solution. Now, what happens when the variables cancel and you don't end up with no solution necessarily? 2 times the second equation will be negative 6x plus 2y equals negative 24. 6x minus 2y equals positive 24. Notice that we get 0 on the left side because x and y cancels. We also get 0 on the right. And you ask yourself, when is 0 equals 0? Always. So this is a situation where instead of the two lines being parallel, they're not just parallel, they're parallel and literally one on top of each other, which means there's infinitely many solutions. That doesn't mean every number is a solution. That means we can pick a value for x and let the value for y be the solution. What does that mean? That means if I let x be whatever it wants, I can pick any x value here, but the y value is going to have to adjust to whatever x is. So to find your y value, you have to solve an equation for y. So if I move the x over to the other side, I get y equals 3x minus 12. So if I let x be whatever it wants, y is going to be this 3x minus 12 to go with that x value. Because y can't be whatever it wants. Let's say I let x equals 5. There's going to be a corresponding y value that goes with it. Y can't just be whatever it wants. It won't fit either equation. I know anything that fits one equation will fit the other one, but there's still specific points. Now, I could do this a different way. Instead of letting x be whatever it wants, you could let y be whatever it wants, in which case I need the equation for x in terms of y. So if we have negative 3x plus y equals negative 12, I got to get x by itself. So negative 3x equals negative y minus 12 divided by negative 3. X equals 1/3 y plus 4. So in this case, we let y be whatever it wants, and then the x adjusts to it. Your homework may ask you to make a specific one be the free variable. Just keep that in mind. If they say let y be the free independent variable, you let y be whatever it wants, and then x adjusts. If it says let x be the free variable, you let x be whatever it wants, and you adjust. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about is g. When you have decimals, remember that decimals may be unpleasant, but can we get rid of a decimal? We can multiply everything by 10 to get some new equations. That would be 24x plus 17y equals 76. In our second equation, we get 12x minus 5y equals 92. We can go from there. Presumably, the easiest one to turn into another would be turning this 12x into a negative 24, so I have to multiply it by negative 2. It gives me negative 24x plus 10y equals negative 184, which I can then line up my 24x plus 17y equals 76 to get 27y equals negative 108 divided by 27. Y is negative 4. Now I can plug this negative 4 into my originals, or one of the ones that I have already established at this point in time. I'm going to plug it into the second equation. So 12x minus 5 times negative 4 equals 92. Negative 5 times negative 4 is 20. 12x plus 20 is 92. Subtract it. 12x equals 72. Divided by 12. X is 6. So we have the point here, 6, negative 4. And I said I was going to go on to the next set of notes, but I think that's enough, and that is all for 7.5.